So let us try to solve some numerical problems from chapter electrostatics. So in question number 1, the electric field components are Ex equal to alpha x square, Ey and Ez equal to 0, in which alpha equal to 800 Newton per coulomb per meter square. Calculate. Number 1, the flux through the cube. Number 2, the charge within the cube. Assume that A equal to 0.1 meter. Now here you can see in the figure what we have to do. The magnitude of electric field at the left face. Here is your left face. This is the left face, and for the left face the magnitude of electric field is given by EL equal to alpha x to the power half, and for the left face we have x equal to A. So putting the value of A, we get the electric field for the left face, which is alpha into A to the power half. Now flux through the left face is phi L equal to EL dot ds. Here the angle between EL and ds will be 180 because area vector is pointing to the left side and electric field is pointing to the right side. So the angle between these two vectors is 180. So phi L becomes minus alpha A to the power half into A square, because the area of left face is A square. Now phi L becomes minus alpha A to the power 5 by 2. For the right face, this is the right face. For the right face you can see the electric field and area vector both pointing in the same direction. So angle between EL and ds is 0. So phi r becomes ER dot ds equal to ER ds cos 0, that is ER ds. So for the right face the value of x will be 2a. Okay. So x is replaced by 2a and phi r is given by root 2 alpha into A to the power 5 by 2. Now you can see here the flux through the cube. Okay. How to find the flux through the cube? Flux through the cube is given by phi L plus phi r. We put the value of phi L and phi r and we get the final result as 1.05 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now to find the total charge within the cube, so we apply the Gauss theorem, phi q equal to q by epsilon naught, or q equal to phi q into epsilon naught. Putting the value of net flux into epsilon naught, we get charge equal to 9.29 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb. Now come to learn the next problem. A hollow cylindrical box of length 1 meter and area of cross section 25 centimeter square is placed in a 3-dimensional coordinate system as shown in the figure. The electric field in the region is given by E equal to 50 xi, where E is in Newton per coulomb and x is in meter. Find the net flux through the cylinder, charge enclosed by the cylinder. So here you can see the cylinder. For the left face, x equal to 1, and for the right face x equal to 2. So for the left face E equal to 50 xi and area of cross section is 25 cm square. So flux through the curved surface of the cylinder is 0. Here is the curved surface. When we consider this curved surface, then we find that area vector is perpendicular to the surface and electric field pointing towards right of the along x-axis. Okay. So angle between these two vectors is 90, that is why flux through the curved surface of the cylinder is 0. Now flux through the left face. Okay, here is your left face. We are going to find the flux through this left face. When we consider the left face, we find that area vector is towards left side and electric field is towards right. So the angle between these two vectors is 180. So phi L becomes minus E ds. Putting the value of E and ds, ds is replaced by area of the left flat face. So we get phi L equal to minus 1250 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now solution is continued. For the right phase, we find that phi R equal to E dot ds, and which becomes E ds cos 0. This is the right phase. When we consider the right phase, then area vector and electric field, they point in the same direction. So angle between these two is 0, and phi R becomes E ds. For the right phase, x is replaced by 2, and we get phi R equal to 2500 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now net flux through the cylinder is given by phi N equal to phi L plus phi R, which is 1250 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter square per coulomb. Okay. Now to find the total charge enclosed by the cylinder, we use Gauss theorem and we write Q equal to phi N into epsilon naught. Putting the value of these two, we get Q equal to 1.107 picocoulomb. Now come to solve the next problem. Here you can see an electric field is uniform and in the positive x direction for positive x, and uniform with the same magnitude in the negative x direction for negative x. It is given that E equal to 200 I Newton per coulomb for x greater than 0, E equal to minus 200 I Newton per coulomb for x less than 0. A right circular cylinder of length 20 cm and radius 5 cm has its center at the origin and its axis along the x-axis, so that one face is at x equal to plus 10 cm and the other is at x equal to minus 10 cm. Now number 1, what is the net outward flux through each flat face? What is the flux through the side of the cylinder? What is the net outward flux through the cylinder? What is the net charge inside the cylinder? So let us now try to solve it. This is very interesting problem. First of all, let us suppose that O be the origin and I be the unit vector along x-axis. You can see in the figure. So on the left face, we find that E equal to minus 200 I Newton per coulomb and delta S equal to delta S minus I, which is minus pi into 0.05 whole square I meter square. The outward flux through the left face is given by phi L equal to E dot ds. Now we solve it and we find that it is 1.57 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now on the right face, you can see E equal to 200 I Newton per coulomb, delta S equal to plus delta S I. Now phi R equal to E dot delta S. We find that the angle between E and delta S is, we can take the dot product simply. Okay, so putting the value of E and delta S, we find that phi R equal to 1.57 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now number 2, for any point on the side of the cylinder, we find that electric field is perpendicular to the area vector. So angle between these two is 90. So phi S becomes 0. Now number 3, net outward flux through the cylinder, phi net equal to phi L plus phi R, which is 3.14 Newton meter square per coulomb. Number 4, net charge inside the cylinder is given by Q equal to epsilon naught phi net, which is 2.78 into 10 to the power minus 11, because we have put the value of epsilon naught and net flux. Then we get 2.78 into 10 to the power minus 11 coulomb. Next problem. A thin metallic spherical shell of radius r carries a charge q on its surface. A point charge q by 2 is placed at its center and another charge plus q is placed outside the cell at a distance x from the center as shown in the figure. Number 1, find the force on the charge at the center of the cell and at point A. Number 2, the electric flux through the cell. Now you can go through the solution. Net force on the charge q by 2, which is inside the cell, is 0. Now force on the charge 2q kept at a point A at a distance r from the center is given by F equal to E into 2q. Now here we have to replace the value of E. Okay. So the value of E is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q by 2 by r square into 2q, because the net charge on the surface of the cell is 3q by 2, and we find the electric field at a point A which is outside the cell. So in this case we can use the Gauss theorem to find the electric field at point A, and we have calculated and we have put the value to find the value of force. Now F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q square by r square. Number 2, electric flux through the cell is given by applying a Gauss theorem. We can write phi equal to q by 2 by epsilon naught, which becomes q by 2 epsilon naught. The next problem, a wire AB of length L has linear charge density lambda equal to kx, where x is measured from the end A of the wire. This wire is enclosed by Gaussian hollow surface. Find the expression for the electric flux through this surface. So let us suppose that charge on a small element of length of x of the wire is dq equal to lambda dx. Okay, the length of a small element is dx and the charge on it is dq. So according to linear charge density we can write lambda equal to dq by dx. That is why dq equal to lambda dx, and lambda is replaced by kx dx, and finally we get dq equal to kx dx. Now the total charge on the wire of length L will be q equal to integrating kx dx over the limit 0 to L, now which becomes half kl square. So we have calculated the total charge inside the Gaussian surface. Okay, now by Gauss theorem, flux through the hollow Gaussian surface will be phi equal to q by epsilon naught, and q is replaced by half kl square. So finally we get phi equal to kl square by 2 epsilon naught. In the next question you will see a charge plus 10 microcoulomb is at a distance 10 cm directly above the center of a square of side 10 cm as shown in the figure. What is the magnitude of electric flux through the square? Okay, here you can see the square face. This is the square face. Okay, we can imagine the square as a face of a cube with age 10 cm and with a charge of plus 10 microcoulomb placed at its center as shown in the figure. So here you can see it is 10 microcoulomb. C is missing over here, so it should be considered at plus 10 microcoulomb. Okay, placed at the center as shown in the figure. Now you see the symmetry of 6 faces of a cube about its center ensures that the flux phi s through each square face is same. Okay, when the charge q is placed at the center. So total flux phi e equal to 6 phi s. Okay, which is given by q by epsilon naught. So phi s equal to q by 6 epsilon naught. And now we put the value of epsilon naught to find the flux, which is 1.88 into 10 to the power, which is 10 to the power 5 Newton meter square per coulomb. Okay, now you see the figure once again. Now in question number 7, if E equal to 6i plus 3j plus 4k, calculate the electric flux through a surface of area 20 units in yz plane. So here we can find the area vector in yz plane. It is given by 20i because the area vector is perpendicular to yz plane and pointing along the x direction. So along x direction the unit vector is I. So area vector is 20I. Now we find the flux. Flux is phi equal to E dot S. We take the dot product and find the value, which is 120 units. Now let us try to solve question number 8. Electric field is directed along positive x direction and given by Ax equal to 5Ax plus 2B, where E is in Newton per Coulomb and x is in meter. A and B are constants with dimensions. Taking A equal to 10 Newton per Coulomb per meter, B equal to 5 Newton per Coulomb, calculate the electric flux through the cube, net charge enclosed within the cube. So here you can see the figure. There are two faces M and N. Okay. Now let us try to solve it. In part 1, the electric field is acting only in x direction and its y and z components are 0. So the flux passes only through face M and N. So here you can see in the figure, flux will pass through M and the y and z components are 0. So flux passes only through faces M and N. The magnitude of the electric field at the face M, that is x equal to 0. Here you can see. Okay. So magnitude of electric field at the face M when x equal to 0 is Em equal to 5Ax plus 2B. Putting the value of x equal to 0, we get Em equal to 10 Newton per Coulomb and the flux phi m equal to Em L square cos theta. Here the value of theta will be 180 because area vector is pointing towards left side and electric field pointing towards right. So the angle between these two is 180 and the area of left face is L square. So phi m becomes minus 0.1 Newton meter square per Coulomb. The magnitude of electric field at the face N when x equal to 10 centimeter, you can see x equal to 10 for the face N. So En becomes 5Ax plus 2B equal to 5 into 10 into 0.01 plus 2 into 5, that is 15 Newton per Coulomb. And phi n is En L square cos theta. Here theta will be 0 because both point in the same direction. And phi n becomes 0.15 Newton meter square per Coulomb. Net flux through the cube is given by phi equal to phi m plus phi n, which is 0.05 Newton meter square per Coulomb. Now number 2, total charge enclosed within the cube is given by Q equal to epsilon naught phi e, which is 4.43 into 10 to the power minus 13 Coulomb. Now here some practice problems are given to you. You may utilize the concept and try to solve these questions on your own. Okay. So this was all about the numerical problems from chapter electrostatics. I hope you will be able to solve some more problems on your own. Thank you very much.